Hello, viewers. This is Cynthia Michael from Screen Reviews, bringing you a new podcast for my subject called the Boruto Review. And like always, I'm going to speak very loudly, very clearly, and very slowly in case you don't understand me. Also, I'll try to do my best not to be too hard during this audio podcast recording as well, but of course, the audio feedback as well. And finally, if you're under 18, this audio podcast recording will contain some adult language. Once again, if you're under 18, this audio podcast recording will contain some adult language. Now, if you're over 18, then you should get to watch this audio podcast recording. So anyway, let's get into the latest episode of Boruto. So basically, Akasha managed to get Kiki, sorry if I'm pronouncing his name wrong, please forgive me, managed to pull some strings to get Shogo to fight Boruto for a produced sentence. So basically, the Shogo, the bad guy that Boruto took down in the previous story arc, saying that, that Kata Sensei promised him that, a reduced prison sentence if he fights Boruto in a straight up match. So anyway, Shogo was making sure that, that before the fight started, that Kata Sensei will keep his word, and Kata Sensei, said that, don't worry, I will keep my word, and I'll make sure that you get a produced prison sentence. So anyway, Shogo's districts were removed, and Boruto and Shogo started to fight. So basically, Boruto busts out his wind style Rasengan, but Shogo uses his wind style barrier shield to stop Boruto's wind style Rasengan and send it flying through the roof. So basically, Shogo saying that, how you forgot about my wind style barrier jutsu? So basically, blah blah blah. So basically, and Boruto is like, you see, Shogo was like, your wind style designer looks impressive, but it's not enough to break through my wind style barrier jutsu. So basically, and that's when Boruto started to smile, and they started to fight. So basically, they started to trade blows and whatnot, and that's when Boruto bust out a new Rasengan, did a new Rasengan called the high compression Rasengan. So basically, it hit Shogo with it and sent him flying into the wall. So basically, this new Rasengan that Boruto bust out is just a different Rasengan, just changing the density and the capacity of a normal Rasengan. So basically, this new Rasengan is just changing the density and the compression of the old Rasengan into shaking a regular Rasengan into a different type of Rasengan. It changes its density and the high compression of that Rasengan. So basically, Boruto was was able to defeat Shogo, and Kazu Shinkai and Kiguru was amazed at Boruto's new type of Rasengan, and that's when Boruto passed out because he's been training for so long, and the match must and plus that new Rasengan takes out a lot of chakra, and plus he's been training all this time, he's been training non-stop, and the match, the stop training, and Boruto just passed out right there in front of Kiro and Kasa Sensei. Meanwhile, back at the training guards, we see Sawada, training with her dad, trying to get to master her Sharingan to dodge objects and whatnot. But so far, things are still going okay, but not as Sawada wants them to be. And that's when Sakura showed up and said to I like to help you train. So basically, like blah blah blah. So basically, I want you to fight me, and and I want you to spar with me. So basically, so I was was kind of shocked that her mom is being helpful, because last time she was not trying to be helpful, but this time she is trying to be helpful. So anyway, so basically, Sawada started to fight with her mom, and during the fight, Sawada figured she got the upper hand with her shotgun against her mom, but she was not able turns out that she was not able to predict that that Sokka did a substitution user and got behind her. So basically, the match. So basically, during the match, Sawada didn't. Sawada's shotgun was not able to pick up that her mom was able to, that she did a substitution user that her shotgun missed and managed to get behind her. So anyway, and that's what Sakura said, that your weakness is you don't have any chakra control. So basically, the reason why you've been so focused on building your stamina for your shotgun, but you realize that your chakra control is the real reason why you can't master your shotgun. So basically, Sakura was pointing out that your weakness is that you have not mastered chakra control yet. So basically, you've been trying to build the stamina for your shotgun, but you have not been able to master your controlling your chakra yet. So when it comes to your shotgun, so basically, Sakura was explaining that was stating that you need to master, you need to learn chakra control first, and that's how you improve your shotgun. So basically, so I was I was blind this whole time and realized that her mother was right, that I need to practice working on chakra control. So anyway, once again, Sarada asked to fight her mother one more time, and this time, she was able to use her shotgun to copy her mother's movement, and they had this big powerful fist explosion that left this big ass hole in the training ground. So basically, it turns out that Sarada was able to use her shotgun to copy her mother's movements now, by and also now learning that she needs to focus on her chakra control now. So basically, after realizing her mother told her you need to work on your chakra control, she took her mother's device and was able to use her shotgun to copy her mother's movements and together make this big ass hole in the training ground. So anyway, Sasuke was impressed and whatnot. That Sawada was able to copy her mother's movements and whatnot, and managed to and now know that she needs to work on her chakra control now. So anyway, back at Orochimaru's lab, we see Orochimaru talking to the Nishi's older clone brother about the Hashirama cells. So basically, also about Nishi. So basically, telling her that Orochimaru had to replace some parts in Mishki, had to replace some organs in Mishki after the damage he suffered from, his Seibo and the damage that Diva did to him. So basically, Orochimaru said that, I have to replace some organs, inside Mishki and whatnot, and whatnot, but he should, we just have to wait and see that he will recover or not. So basically, I don't know if Michi is the one in the Quietude or another clone Mishki. So basically, we don't know that Mishki is in the Quietude that Orochimaru was staring at, or just another clone of Mishki in this Quietude. So basically, we don't know if Mishki is in this big Quietude the covering, or is it a clone or another clone of Mishki or not. So anyway, the episode ended ended like that, with Orochimaru telling Mickey's older clone brother that I had to basically tell him that I was about Mickey's situation, and also talking about the Hashirama cells, and that's how the episode ended. So anyway, this episode was kind of short, this was a short review on this episode. So basically, there's not a lot of things going on in this episode. So basically, Boruto met her, and came up with a new Rasengan. So Sarada needs to work on her chakra control to improve, that way she can improve on her Sharingan, and Miki's situation seems like it's still unknown at this time, but we just have to wait and see. So anyway, this was a good episode. This review was kind of short, but anyway, this was a good episode. So basically, what do you guys think about this episode? Was it good? Was it bad? Was it just okay? Please let me know in the comments below this podcast. So anyway, as always, this is Michael from School Reviews. Sign off. 1.